You've probably seen the headline by now. Ripple is about to dump over $1 billion of XRP next week. And if you're holding XRP, your stomach probably dropped a little when you read it. Maybe you even thought about selling before the so-called dump hits. So before you do anything, stop, take a breath, and let me show you something. Because this is one of the most misleading headlines in all of crypto. And here's the kicker. It comes back around almost every single month, scaring a fresh batch of holders every time. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what's actually happening around July 1st, why the word dump is doing some very dishonest work in that headline, and what actually moves XRP's price instead. Because this channel is called Verified, and protecting you from manufactured fear is exactly why it exists. Let's get into it. One honest note first. Everything here is research and perspective to help you understand the story, not financial advice. I'm not telling you what to buy, sell, or hold. Do your own research, and let's walk through it. So let's start with the part that's actually true, because there's always a kernel of truth that makes these headlines work. Around July 1st, Ripple will unlock 1 billion XRP from Escrow, and with XRP trading right around $1 and change, yes, 1 billion tokens carries a notional value of over $1 billion. That part is real. But here is the enormous piece of context that the scary headlines deliberately leave out. This is not some surprise decision by Ripple to suddenly flood the market and cash out. It is an automatic, pre-programmed release that happens on the exact same schedule every single month, and it has, like clockwork, since 2017. Let me take you back to why this even exists, because it completely flips the story. Back in 2017, Ripple voluntarily locked up a massive amount of XRP into escrow for one specific reason: transparency. They wanted to make XRP's supply predictable so that nobody could ever accuse them of secretly dumping tokens whenever they felt like it. So they built a system where 1 billion XRP unlocks automatically each month, on a fixed schedule everyone can see in advance. In other words, this release isn't news at all. It's a calendar event. It's about as shocking as your rent being due on the 1st. Now here's the single detail that completely dismantles the dump narrative. Ripple does not sell all 1 billion. Not even close. Historically, the company takes the large majority of those unlocked tokens and relocks them right back into brand new escrow contracts for the future. Look at the actual pattern from previous months. Typically, only somewhere between 200 and 400 million XRP actually stays in circulation, and that portion gets used for real business purposes like operations, liquidity management, and institutional partnerships. The rest, often 600 to 800 million of it, goes straight back into the vault. This is why, even after years of these monthly unlocks, around 38 billion XRP is still sitting locked in escrow as of mid-June. So when a thumbnail screams that Ripple is dumping $1 billion of XRP on the market, it's describing something that essentially never happens the way it sounds. The billion comes out, but most of it goes right back in. And this is exactly why these releases barely move the price. Because the schedule is completely predictable and has been public for years, the market priced this in a long time ago. There is no surprise here for anyone paying attention. And that's the critical difference between Ripple's escrow and the kind of token unlocks that actually do damage. With a lot of other crypto projects, you'll see a huge chunk of supply suddenly dumped onto the market all at once, out of nowhere, and the price craters because nobody saw it coming. Ripple's monthly release is the opposite of that. It's gradual, it's expected, and historically, it has generated very little volatility on its own. So if XRP makes a big move next week, I can almost promise you the escrow release will not be the reason why. Which raises the obvious question. If the monthly unlock isn't what moves XRP, then what does? And this is the part actually worth your attention. Realistically, XRP's price is driven by 3 real forces. The first is broad market sentiment. When the entire crypto market is in a risk-off mood, like it has been recently, with Bitcoin and the major coins all under pressure, XRP tends to move with the tide, regardless of anything Ripple-specific. The second is regulatory developments. Things like the Clarity Act in the United States or the MiCA framework in Europe. Those genuinely shift the outlook because clear rules are what unlock serious institutional money. And the third is institutional adoption, real capital flowing in through ETFs, corporate treasuries, and the rapid growth of tokenized assets on the XRP ledger. Those three forces are what actually shape where XRP goes over time. A scheduled Escrow release that's been on the calendar since 2017 is just background noise by comparison. Now, let me be completely straight with you about where XRP actually sits right now, because I'm never going to sugarcoat the chart just to make you feel good. The honest truth is that XRP is in a weak spot at the moment. It's trading down around $1.10 to $1.15, lower by a few percent on the week. And technically, it's sitting below both its 50-day average, around $1.30, and its 200-day average, around $1.55. In plain English, that means both the medium-term and long-term trends are still pointing down right now. Its relative strength reading is sitting around 41, which is neutral to weak, not yet deeply oversold, but a sign that strong buying pressure hasn't fully returned either. So no, I'm not going to tell you the chart looks bullish today, because it doesn't. But here's the entire point of this video. That weakness is about the broader market and the current trend. It is absolutely not about some escrow dump that was never going to happen in the first place. Don't let a misleading headline pile fake fear on top of a market that's already soft. Those are two completely different things, and confusing them is exactly how people get scared into bad decisions. So let's bring it all home. The headline that Ripple is about to dump $1 billion of XRP is engineered to do one thing: make you anxious enough to click and maybe panic enough to sell. And it recycles almost every single month, hoping you've got a short memory. But now you know the reality. It's a routine, automatic, mostly relocked escrow release that the market priced in years ago, and that history shows barely moves the needle. The real drivers of XRP, sentiment, regulation, and adoption, are where your focus actually belongs. The holders who understand how this escrow truly works don't flinch when they see that headline. They just scroll right past it. And now you can too. One last reminder before I go. This video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Crypto is volatile and genuinely risky, and you should always do your own research before making any decision. My only job here is to give you the real picture, the documented facts, and the honest unknowns, so you can think clearly for yourself. If you appreciate getting the verified version instead of the scariest headline in the room, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. And be honest with me in the comments. Did this headline almost make you panic before you understood it? I read every single one. Take care, stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next one.